with Grays Diesel, and I'm powered by science. Race truck, I run Adrenaline R4, 40 weight engine oil, and Adrenaline Nano Ship. And go up one tune on the hydrant to make it jump up to 73 pounds on the brake, and then I let her eat. Yeah, the truck is a 96 F-150, 7.3 still factory DOE injection setup, single 88 gear turbo. It's got our already injectors, cam, and intakes, proprietary FS6, and locked up 400 trans, a bunch of nitrous.
So we're in the truck, and we were seeing that you had some problems last night, and you got some problems with the tune. Now, I'm unfamiliar with how this works, so if you could, give us kind of a rundown of what's going on with you on the starting line.
Well, like I said, we're just having some trouble. We haven't really dialed in what the issue is. We're getting some uncontrolled fuel or some unatomized fuel at really low RPM because we really have trouble putting all the power to the ground because of our low RPM.
Right.
And the torque converter can't really couple through the 60 foot. So we keep trying more and more crazy things to have an insanely low stall speed to try to drive the truck through the 60.
Gotcha. Instead
of just waiting for it to lock up at the end of first gear, you know?
Right.
About 3/10 or 7/10 out.
Okay.
So we go through that. The problem is, that means when I go in the trans brake, that the engine's only going to go up to about 1200 RPMs before I'm going to have to spray nitrous to get it to come up and get up on the turbo.
Right.
And that's where our problem lies. And it's just a very fine line that we have to just barely put a little nitrous in there to get it to come up. And like I said, with the new problem we have today, the only thing we can get it to not want to huff and puff and be angry is to go down to like basically a street tune that's set up for this truck for a street tune. And we get it to come up on the charger because it's a lot more easy and soft coming up on the charger. So it actually gives us another 400 or 500 RPMs
right
before we have to spray nitrous on that tune.
So you're in here physically changing the tune, which is something in a gas world, like we can't do that.
We had to move it. We had to move it close to here on the shifter if you want to bring it around. I had to move it right here on the shifter, so we have it on position number 2, and then we have it on position number 2 right here. And then when I'm on the line, I'm having to bump that thing to number 3 after I'm already spooled up about 43 pounds of boost. Man, this thing's in here rattling like it's gonna come apart.
So you're literally you got finger on the trans brake.
Yeah.
You're holding it.
I'm wide open on the dump, on the trans brake, watching the beam, on the brake just slightly to make sure it ain't gonna decide to roll on its own. And I have to come into the throttle as it starts to kind of feather it in to make sure it's not going to nitrous backfire. Come up as it comes up on the, starts to come up pretty good. I hold it wide open and wait for a second, let it build close to 40 pounds of boost, which is about all it's going to do on that small tune.
Right.
And I had to and back over and bump.
And we could hear it on, you can almost hear it on the line. Like you hear it coming up and then you stop for a second.
Yeah, we got a good video you can see. And it comes up, starts to get smoky, comes up, goes completely clean. Well, that's because that tune doesn't make any power, it's not putting any fuel in.
Right.
And then I bump that thing and then you see it go instant black and makes another 30 pounds of boost and tries to clean up a little bit more, but it's right there with the power that we need. And then we take off, nitrous comes on, smoke goes away.
And it ended up working out really well for you because you ended up in what, the #1 qualifying spot?
#1 qualifier, fastest pass we've ever made. Fastest, not the fastest 60 foot, but we brand new set of Penske shocks, first hit on the track. We've been here for freaking 3 days now trying to get test hits on this thing so we didn't look silly.
Right.
And go up there and knock the tires off. And the truck just likes me to be under pressure, and I like to be under pressure sometimes as it is, but you know, it's forced us to be the best that we can be and make it work. And I'm pretty excited that we were able to go from the shit show we've been for the past 2 or 3 days to #1 qualifier and
can't get it to
and
school.
our fastest 330. And we even had some a little bit more converter slip on the top end than we had before, so our mile per hour is down a little bit more. So I fully expect the truck to run some 470s and maybe not 60s this weekend, but we go back to our old stall. I think I'm just ready to go back to the old stall. It's not so tight.
Right.
We go back to that and make sure we're not blowing through that torque converter in the track, and you'll see us in some 460s hopefully by Rudy's.